Hey y'all, coming at you here with a knife review. I've got the Cold Steel Spartan for you today. Uh, no strange knife if you're familiar with Cold Steel, but I'm not someone who was overly familiar with Cold Steel. I mean, I've seen their products, but I've never used their products. So, Scab over at Choir Boys Cutlery was kind enough to loan me some of his Cold Steel collection to kind of test out, review, see if I like it, and go on from there. So, as soon as I opened the box from him, this Spartan knife really caught my attention. It's just a super cool design, um, comfortable in hand, at least to me anyway. So let's get it out. It is in my pocket right here. So reach out. Oh, right there. It deploys with this thumb stud here, designed by a gentleman by the name of Andrew Demko. You may be familiar with him, or you may not be. Either way, look him up. Um, they have this Grivery X material handle scale, whatever that is, fancy term for plastic. I believe that's what like the K-Bar Becker knives use for their stock handle scales too. However, this is not smooth like the K-Bar Becker scales. It has a lot of texturing there, and obviously you can see all these different grooves here to provide added grip. In the Choir Boys Cutlery review on this knife, Scab mentioned he did not like the handle to this knife. The grip area is a little bit too small for his hand, but I think it fits my hand spectacularly. Um, Scab also mentioned in his review that it kind of looks like a folding kukri, and yes, it does. Surely it does. But it's actually modeled after a sword from ancient Greece called a kopis, Kopis. It was a sword used by the Greek cavalry back in their heyday. You know, Alexander the Great probably had one of these swords, and I believe you can see Colin Farrell as Alexander the Great wielding a sword such as this in the Oliver Stone directed film Alexander. I think it came out in like 2004 or somewhere around there. You can also see the Kopis sword in Forged in Fire Season 6. There's an episode where the contestants have to forge their own Kopis sword. And, ancient Greek, Spartan. Spartan, can you see the word there? I don't know. But yeah, Spartan, of course, a famous city from ancient Greece, known for their warriors. You definitely know them from the movie 300 and the story that's famous for, for any. I learned in many history classes growing up in school and probably in college too. King Leonidas of Sparta, holding off the Persian army at the Battle of Thermopylae, and his forces all being killed in action there at that battle. Very famous battle from throughout world history, but they did delay the Persian army for a time to help the Greeks eventually go on to stop the expansion of the Persian Empire there. But anyway, back to the knife. But we do love our history lessons, right? This is made out of OS 10A steel. Cold Steel's been producing this knife for a number of years, and have made it in a few different steels over the years. I believe BDZ1 and OS 8 were previous iterations, but I believe this OS 10 is the current production model that you could buy on Amazon or somewhere. The blade is like 4.5 inches. I would say this is definitely meant to be kind of a fighting knife. Mentioned, before the original sword was a cavalry weapon. So if you're riding on your horse, you would hack downwards on your horse to infantry troops that you would be attacking. And also the that quick deployment that you saw out of my pocket with that thumb stud, kind of the Andrew Demko designed version of the Emerson Wave. it's definitely a nice touch. The AUS 10 steel is very similar to the it's a Japanese steel. It's just pretty similar to the American 440C. So if you want some type of steel comparison, there you have it. So it's definitely a slicer. It does have that nice, I guess you can call this a clip point, sort of, but not really. It can definitely stab too. It's sharp. If you watched Choir Boy's Cutlery's review on this, he did a lot of he hacked into a 2x4 with this knife and did a lot of slicing on wood. So he sent this to me not long after he did that review, and the edge was definitely on the dull side after that, and there were some slight chipping up in this area here. I ran this blade over ceramic rods to get it back to shaven sharp, and yeah, this'll shave. I would show you some hair shaving on my arm, but my arm hair and stuff is like white, so I don't even think you'd be able to see it anyway. But it definitely comes off when I run this blade across my arm. So for us, we just kind of have this. Let me tilt the camera down here a little bit to get it more in frame. We have this nasty old cardboard box here, just dying to die. So let's take a look. Let's take some hacks. So here's the normal grip, and within the the finger grooves and stuff in the handle scale. If you want to choke up for fine cuts, perfectly fine to put your finger right there and put your thumb on top to get some leverage, like that. Sure, you can do that, but the hack on something, you might want to just put your index finger in here like this. Look at that, sliced right down here with that little hack. That is a sharp knife. This knife is freaking awesome. So let's stab it, dude. I mean, this is just a regular old Amazon box, but man, that blade went right all through the cardboard and up into the pommel. And again, so this is a stabber and a hacker, probably just like the original Copus sword from ancient Greece. So definitely, definitely thankful that Cold Steel and Andrew Demko designed that big finger groove so my finger doesn't slip up there, since this penetrates so well. Open in your mail, that tape on this box just slice down there with ease. So watching my channel, typically we get a lot of like buck and case knives on my channel, kind of a more traditional folding knife, but man, oh man, this knife is like way outside of the norm of what I typically own, but it is just super cool. And it's I think like 9.2 ounces in weight, so it's on the heavy side, but I really don't notice it when I have it in my pocket. It doesn't feel any different than other knives. Yeah, it's big. This is what it looks like folded up. So the edge down in there with all this blade sticking up, and of course the thumb stud there. If you don't use the wave feature, it's not assisted opening or anything, but you can easily just open and close. It has Cold Steel's famous triad lock to give that extra secure lockup. It's smooth. I mean, real smooth opening for that big blade. You know, maybe this is a good knife to start myself, or maybe one of you, into the world of cold steel. Right now, I looked this up on Amazon. It sells for about $62 and some change, I think, which is a pretty fair price for what you're getting here. Cold Steel has the MSRP listed up over $100. I don't think I would pay that much for this knife, unless they did like an S30V steel upgrade or something. But I think 62 bucks is pretty reasonable for this. If y'all are out there looking to pick up something cool and unusual, probably, I mean, would this make it into my regular EDC rotation? Time would tell, but you know, definitely if I'm going somewhere where I would want to show off a cool knife to a friend, I'd put this in my pocket. Going into a dangerous area, yeah, this is a good knife to have in your pocket. Bushcraft knife, I don't know. I don't think this would be my first choice. A hunting knife, I bet this would actually be an excellent hunting knife for big game. Look at the belly. Man, you can skin out a moose with this thing. You know, you can you know, get your finger up there, use that huge belly. Bears, deer. Wouldn't be my pick for squirrel processing, but you know, big game hunting knife, you can use a Cold Steel Spartan. Why not? Definitely a cool knife, and has my recommendation. Scab at Choir Boys Cutlery, thank you for sending this one over. I've enjoyed it a lot. Take care, everybody.